going back outside to clean off my car, and I'm just tired of the snow.
Can't even see my garden. Thank you to the neighbor who shoveled my sidewalk. So good. So good. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, welcome back to my vlog. I really don't know what you're going to be seeing today. It's Valentine's Day. And I don't usually do any big celebrations with my husband on Valentine's Day, but what we do is we order some David Austin roses from their website, and I usually get to pick out a new rose every year. Not every year, but most years for the past few years. And it's kind of nice because then I pick it now, enjoy the pictures of the roses, and then in the spring the package comes and I get to unpack it and plant it in the garden, and I get blooms usually within the first year. So that's exciting. We're just gonna be doing some reading, continuing the last book of the Magnolia Park series, Into the Dark. Every year for the past few years, my husband has bought me a bare root rose for my garden. And over the few years, I've added varieties like the Alnwick rose. I've added Poet's Wife, which is a beautiful, fragrant yellow rose. And I've even added Olivia Rose Austin, and Olivia Rose Austin is my favorite. I also have this white variety that's pictured here, but it's amazing in the summertime and in the spring to cut my own roses for some of my garden bouquets. Now, one of the issues I have with roses are Japanese beetles. It's a struggle in the summertime, and I don't know if you get Japanese beetles in your area, but they just seem to continue to multiply every year, and I refuse to spray. My roses get attacked, my hollyhocks get attacked, I have a Rose of Sharon that gets attacked. My amaranth will sometimes get attacked. They will eat at leaves of my strawberries. My strawberries will always get attacked. In the summertime, they just love to procreate on the rose petal itself, or they'll eat at the leaves. What I'll do is in the morning, I'll grab a bucket of soapy water. I'll go around and dump the Japanese beetles into the bucket of soapy water, and then I'll dump the bucket of soapy water somewhere deep in my garden. And this for now manages the Japanese beetles, but it's not a permanent solution. And again, I would just refuse to spray. So over the years, I've resorted to not buying any fragrant roses from David Austin just because the fragrance attracts more Japanese beetles. I will put out a Japanese beetle bag away from my garden that will help. But sometimes I find they attract more Japanese beetles than actually getting rid of them. So it really is a struggle. If you have a solution to dealing with Japanese beetles, let me know in the comments. But for now, I'm going to order another rose. So when I'm looking at roses, I'm choosing a few criteria. One, I want a shrub rose. I am not really growing roses, climbing a wall or anything like that. So I want a shrub rose. And number two, I need it to be able to grow in shade. And then number three, I don't want fragrance, at least not a lot of fragrance. And so because I have various colors in my garden, I have pink, I have white, I have a peachy color. That's kind of my color palette that I'm usually going for when I buy new roses. Now, I would love a vibrant pink rose, but for some reason, the peachy whitish rose always gets me. And the rose that I've been looking at, there are two varieties. I've been looking at Roald Dahl, and the second one is a Lark Ascending. Those two roses, for years, I've been going back and forth trying to figure out, is this a year I'm going to select it? But I'm not sure. I see a new variety in this year called Donahue, but it's out of stock. That's the other issue with selecting roses on Valentine's Day, is that sometimes you're going to find something that you like, but it's out of stock. Now, the Donahue is something I definitely would get. I'm not sure if I want to take the risk of getting on the mailing list and wait until later on for it to be in stock for me to pick up. But it looks like it's the perfect rose. It is a shrub rose. It grows in shade. It's great for city dwellers. And I think that might be the selection, and I might wait for it. But let's see, there's so much selection here. I'm not sure what I'm going to get. Today we have a few things that we need to do. We are heading outside and going to the mall. We're going to head to the bookstore and pick up a new book. I have a coupon that the bookstore gave me, and I'd like to use that today. I finished the Magnolia Park series, and more on that later on my personal views and opinions on the entire book series. But for now, we're going to head to the mall. We're going to go to the grocery store to do my normal weekly grocery pickup. And also we're going to go to the garden center because I have to replace some grow lights. Now, in my grow space, I have 5 different lighting systems, and I'll show you each one shortly. However, what I'm going to be replacing today are some of my bulbs that run on my Sun Blaster system. Now, this is my favorite grow light system that I've invested in. I actually purchased the system from West Coast Seeds quite a few years ago. But one thing that happens with this grow light system is that the bulbs constantly run out. Now, this particular system right now runs on 2 different lights. I have the T5H light, and it's pretty inexpensive. It's about $13 for each bulb. And then I also have the T5 LED, and this becomes more pricey. It's about $30 for the T5 LED. Now, the difference between the two, and over the years, when I first bought the system, it all came with T5H lights. This is a fluorescent bulb. Now, the problem that I found with the fluorescent bulb is that it's just not energy efficient, and they just blow out too quickly. So even though it's inexpensive, it's just not worth it for me to continually replace these light bulbs. What I've been transitioning this to is the LED light. So I currently have 3 T5H lights and 1 LED in this particular grow setup. My goal is to eventually replace all 4 lights to LED, and LED will be so much better. It doesn't give off that heat like the T5H light bulb does. It will last longer. It's energy efficient, just overall better, but just an investment, it's more expensive. So I'm going to go through the 5 different grow lights I have, And again, I've built this over time. This wasn't something I did overnight. I've had these lights for a few years. So the first lighting system I have is this Sunblaster T5 system. Now again, this came with T5H light bulbs, the fluorescent light bulbs. It comes with a nano reflector. I have 4 light bulbs operating the system. It's currently sitting on a track, and you can't probably see this properly, but it is sitting on a track. Now the track you buy separately, and then you can buy the bulbs individually that attach onto this particular track. You can put as many lights as you want. You could put 2, you could put 3, you could put 1 if you want to. If you look underneath, and I just noticed this the other day, this is my T5 light, T5H light. And then back here is my T5 LED. And you can see these two right here. This one is blown and this one is blown. So I'm going to replace these two today with the LED variety. This is my second light system, and this is the Fiat, F-E-I-T light system. And I think you buy the individual panels and it comes with 2 lights. As you can see, I have 4, and you'll find that on most of the racks that I have, I try to put 4 lights or have 4 strings of lights per rack. I just find it gives you the best coverage. Now you can see my light systems are shorter. I don't have it running through the ends, and that's okay. When I started buying these light systems, I really wasn't thinking about length. I was just trying to find general grow lights. I like these ones. They work really well. I found this at my local box store, so I think I bought this at Lowe's originally, or Rona, and that's where they generally sell the Fiat light system. Now, I bought this on sale, I think about 20 or 30 bucks. And I think recently when I went to Rona, they were about 50 bucks. So I would wait till they're on sale, but I find them to be a good system. What I liked about them is that I can connect them. So I bought one originally, and then when I bought the other one, I was able to connect them together and then just have one plug. So that's the benefit of having these type of systems. Now, this is the Barilla light system, and you can buy the individual panels. They were really cheap. I want to say for all 4, they were $20. Similar to the Fiat, they do connect at the back, so you can see a lot of cables here, but technically they all connect into each other, and that's good. So you can buy as many individual panels as you want and then connect them to each other and then just have one plug. That's the good thing I like about this. It's okay. I wish it came with a rack similar to this system. This comes with a rack, so you just clip it onto the rack, and you can see I could add 2 more, or actually I can add 3 more lights to this grow system with the Sunblaster, but the Barilla doesn't come with a rack. That's the only problem I have. I've connected these lights using cable ties, and I've tried to line it up so they're all the same. That's the only problem I have with this system, is that it doesn't come with a rack similar to the Sunblaster system that you can just clip things into. You really have to buy the individual lights and then try to line them up properly. But if you're looking for something affordable, something that I know works and is proven to work, then the Barilla light system from Amazon is a good choice, and it's pretty affordable. Okay, number 4 is a bit different, and this one was also purchased at my local hardware store. This is the General Electric Grow Light. This one is not as versatile as the others. As you can see, it only comes with 1 individual panel. But what I do like about this is it does have the metal chain that you can raise and lower this grow light as much as you want. So it is versatile from that perspective. But I don't like the fact this is only 1 panel. So when I grow in this particular rack, I really only have 1 skinny grow light because it's so limited in range. It doesn't even extend out. It doesn't have an extender or a reflector similar to the Sun Blaster, which has a reflector, so it will inside it will reflect the light. It was also fairly expensive. It's okay if you want something simple, if you're growing just a few things indoors, but I don't really recommend this. Now, the fifth light system I have is just really sitting here because it doesn't belong here. I already have the Fiat sitting here, but this usually goes on my table behind me. And this is the Sun Blaster Universal Strip Light Stand. And this was just an added bonus that sometimes you need extra space to grow, and I do, and you'll see in the next few weeks why I need extra space. And I added this particular grow light system because it was versatile. I could put it anywhere. I could put it upstairs, downstairs. I put it on my table. So this is for things where, I don't want to take up an entire rack. I just want to grow a few things separately, and that's what I use the Sun Blaster strip light for. I like this system. If you're a beginner gardener and you don't want to spend a ton of money, you can use a portable light I recommended in my YouTube shorts. But I honestly think that if you're serious about growing and you don't want to spend a lot of money, this is a good option because you can put it anywhere. It's pretty versatile. You can adjust up and down in terms of, the height and the level that you want, but it's just, it can go on a table, it can go anywhere. So this is my recommendation of if you're serious about growing food and you just want to start and you just want to invest a little bit, this is a good option. Or I've also seen people use fluorescent bulbs from the hardware store or places like Walmart that can be for as low as $20. So I'm just showing you what I use and the lights that I've added to my system over time. It wasn't cheap. This was an investment, but it's something that I use all the time. The only issue that or not an issue, but the only challenge that I have is really with my T5 system and wishing that I had purchased LED lights up front rather than using the T5H lights and now having to replace out the entire system, which is such a pain. But I'm replacing these two lights and then I have one more left, and hopefully that will be it in terms of my investment for a long time.
I'm buzzing, let's drink up. Your death look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on. Like that on gay song. I'm stunning, you love it. Come on, give me something. I know that you want it. Come on, give me something. The night is young and so are we. So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young and so are we, baby. The night is young, so let's have some fun. If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our lives now, honey. Give it to me like you know.
We're at Sheridan Nurseries to pick up the light bulbs that are to replace my Sunbeam T5 reflector system. Remember, we're picking up the LED lights, but I just want to say that it's going to snow again. It's already starting to snow, and I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the snow because I don't know where else to put the snow. We have no more space to put the snow. I don't know where we're going to shovel it to because the entire backyard is completely filled with snow. The front yard, like I don't even know why it's snowing again. I'm just so over this. I'm so over this. But anyways, let's have the little fun that we can. Head inside Sheridan Nurseries and then head to the bookstore, pick up something new to read, and then get all cozy inside. That's what we're doing this weekend. It's the weekend.
The summer of our lives, the summer of our lives. Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. We can keep on dancing all night. Give it to me, baby, all night. You love me right.
No lights, but I did see some interesting grow light selections that you might be interested in. We're going to the bookstore. Look at outside. Holy cow. Woo, this snowstorm. Again. Okay, so this is the entire Magnolia Park series. There were 5 books in the series, and I've completed all of them. I'm lukewarm on this series. The last book, which is Magnolia Park's Into the Dark, that last book made me cry. It was sad, but I was happy at the end that they found some sort of resolution. I started this book series reading Daisy Hates, the second book, the blue one. I made a mistake when I went to Jamaica and picked up the wrong book, which was probably my first mistake, because starting with the second book, I had no idea what was happening, who the characters were, who the box set was. I knew nothing. And I really wish I read the first book, because I enjoyed the first book and it gave me a lot of context about the second book. So that was my mistake. The third book, I hated. I didn't want to read anymore. I almost DNF'd it. It was just too repetitive for me. The fourth book, which is Daisy Hates' second book, and I feel like this book series is broken into 2. It's almost like following the story of Magnolia Parks, but then it follows the story of Daisy Hates as well. So it's almost like there are 2 branches of stories happening, but I wouldn't read like Daisy Hates only or Magnolia Parks only, because there's a lot of things that happen in both of their stories that intertwine. So I think you really have to read this book series in order. And the Daisy Hates Great Undoing, actually I enjoyed all of Daisy Hates' books. I just found her character to be fun. She's smart, she's witty. She had a difficult upbringing. I won't go into the details of the story, but I really enjoyed Daisy Hates' story, and I really wish she expanded on her story and her love life a bit. I feel like at the end of the Magnolia Park series, I didn't get closure on Daisy. Like, what happened to her relationship? Where is she? What's going on? So, I mean, I know it's a Magnolia Park series and we get closure on Magnolia Parks. I just wish we got more on Daisy Hates and what was going on with her and her family. So all in all, I probably would rate this a 3-star. Don't kill me. And I know Book Talk is loving this series, but I'm going to give this a 3-star. Yeah, 3-star. Yeah, for sure. And I picked up 2 books at the bookstore today, and because I finished this, I'm starting a new series, and I love reading a good book series. I actually have about 5 or 6 books on my TBR that's coming out this year that I'm looking to add to hopefully close out some of the series I've been reading. But this is a new series, and since I've read ACOTAR and I've read the Empyrean series, I just finished Onyx Storm in January, I was really looking forward to reading another romantasy series, and romance is my genre, but I've been really liking romantasy. So I picked up this new series, and it's the first one's From Blood and Ash, and the series is I think it's a Blood and Ash series. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is a new author. I've never tried Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've never tried her books before, but I've read some reviews on Goodreads and heard this was a good romantasy series to start. So I picked up 2 books. One is From Blood and Ash, and I picked up the second book in the series, which is A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. So let me know if you've read these 2 books or this entire series and if you enjoyed it. But I'm gonna try this and see how it worked for me. There's a snowstorm outside again. So this is a great weekend, long weekend, to hang out in my book nook and just read. So looking forward to giving you a review on these ones. Okay, winter sewing part 2. We're going to be doing some winter sewing with some common household items that you might have at home. We buy a lot of juice in this household, and we bought a lot of Tropicana. So we're going to do some winter sewing in these bottles. I have some carbonated water bottles that I got from Longo's, and I think this is some Tropicana orange juice. I'm going to start off by removing the labels from these containers. So now I'm going to cut through the bottle and make a lid. And also add some drainage holes at the bottom. Okay, if you're gonna do this at home, just please be safe, because sometimes it's easier for me to use a power drill because the bottom of the bottles are very tough and too tough for me to get my knife through. So I'm just gonna use a power drill for the bottom of these bottles. So now I'm going to do the bottle gentian, the Maximilian sunflower, and the anise hyssop. These are the 3 I'm doing today. This one doesn't require a cold stratification. So this one I technically can start indoors. I might not do this one today, but the bottle gentian and the Maximilian sunflower do require cold stratification. I'm gonna pick something from this bin. Some bachelor's buttons. It's been a while. Because these are old, I'm gonna use quite a few seeds. And just before I start, you can probably see all the seeds. Oops. All right, all done. So we're gonna put these to the side. You can't even see the bottles I placed there yesterday because it snowed again. It's still snowing. Oh my goodness.